So Pete, last night we get this email from our kids' school saying that there was a threat made. And the school thinks that it's a hoax. It's something that is connected to the news, another incident in a different state. But, they want our kids to report to school today. And it was actually interesting because my husband's like, should we send our kid? And, thinking of all the training and all the things that we know about the likelihood that this is a real threat, of course my gut reaction was, of course, send him off to school. But also to kind of talk to him about what needs to happen if you feel anxious or suspicious, even if it's a child and it's a really kind of interesting thing that we're facing with this.
Yeah, I think this is happening more and more parents are going to resonate with what you just said because, these things are happening in our society. This is really an important point for schools and school psychologists especially to be on board to deal with these situations. For example, if you had a kid who had a lot of anxiety problems, even though this is a hoax, this is going to shake them up, and maybe they need somebody at the school that they can talk that over with and kind of get a little perspective on it. That person, could be a compassionate teacher, or it could be, an administrator. But a school psychologist is probably the best trained person on the school grounds in terms of their background in psychology and education, and being able to provide the kind of support that would help that student get through the day.
Absolutely, and I also think somebody's going to get in trouble for this, and these kids. I think kids today they're accessing a lot. They have more information than ever about all kinds of things, and they really need assistance in kind of navigating that and trying to figure out how to behave and engage in behaviors that are consistent with really what their expectations are and their goals. And as school psychologists, I think we can really make a difference with regard to creating supports, to trying to address the kids, whether it's they're making these threats because they're just being silly and they're uninformed, or they're making these threats because maybe they feel marginalized, or maybe there's bullying going on. But these are real concerns that we're facing, and it's when it affects you as a parent, aside from the professional piece, you realize that we really need these types of services in schools. We need people who are interested in kids and who want to come in and work with kids around these different types of issues.
As worried parents, we're always thinking about things. Well, why don't we have metal detectors? Or why don't we have fences and dogs and things like that? When really, I think the safety of our kids lie in the strength of our community. And do we have an environment, a culture in a school where a kid can come to an adult and say, listen, I just overheard something in the halls that I think you should know about. Mm-hmm. Or listen, this is what my friend just put up on Instagram last night and it really worries me. Is there anything you can do about it? Every time something has happened at a school, almost every time, it seems that someone knew something about it ahead of time but may not have known the channels to go through to get it attended to. And that's where I think as school psychologists we play a huge role in a school.
Right, and even it just setting up a system that allows for kids to know how to do that, because I think that's part of it is that if those things have not been thought out and planned and put in place, kids have a much harder time kind of figuring out what to do. And so it's, those are things that we need to be doing, for sure.